Hi there, folks. I start to think what kind of music style that I like that I haven't been shown yet. I've been showing 80s pop, 80s new wave synth, 80s house music. I've been showing 80s rock. I've been showing 70s music, jazz music in all various forms. I've been showing most kind of music that I actually like. I realized that there is actually one style that I haven't been showing yet, and maybe it's time to show that style too. I think that most of you have seen my videos in my music room have seen that I have a lot of CD records in the back, and I said in my Mount Rushmore election that I like 90s music, and I haven't been showing any 90s music except for some 90s soul in my soul video. So I thought it was time to show some 90s music. Little modern music, modern music, modern in that fashion that we're leaving now for most of the part of the video the vinyls behind. This is mostly in CDs. Then you might ask, don't I buy new music on vinyl when it's released? I wish I could, but it's so expensive. It's a little too expensive for me. I have been buying most of them on CD. And I like the CDs. I know it's not the most trendy format right now, but still it's very important. And I know that the vinyl is, of course, can take a whole lot more, but it's a portable form. CDs, very portable to listen to. So I'm not going to deny the fact that I like CDs also. But I'm going to show some vinyls also, because I have some 90s stuff on vinyl. I'm also going to say that much of these 90s records are from Europe and a whole lot from Britain, and that is because much American music in the 90s were grunge that I absolutely didn't like. It's hip hop that I also don't like that much, and it was many of those bands that were continuing from the 70s or the 80s. And in this case, I have decided to, with a couple of exceptions, to concentrate on those artists that were 90s more or less. Kylie Minogue's adventures in the 90s, I'm not going to mention that, even though I liked very much, because I see her more or less as an 80s artist or a 00 artist. Same goes with Depeche Mode's hits from the 90s also. Great hits. I love them so much, but I spare them for the 80s. But I'm gonna make one exception and show one 12-inch actually that I'm a little proud to have. I bought it's very cheap. It is not the 90s this because it's from 2005, but I can start with it anyway. This is Madonna American Life on vinyl to 12-inch. This is definitely not Madonna's best song. Absolutely not. It's produced by Merve, and I will never understand why she chose to work with him, because it's very stale production. But it was very fun to actually have this one, and we got it very cheap, just 50 cents I bought it from, and it was brand new then, so it was very interesting. But I also have a couple of singles that I cherish very high. It's 90s singles released on vinyl, and it's very special with these records is that I don't know whether or not some of them I don't think is released on vinyl normally, but they are made for jukeboxes. In a second-hand store, there was someone who gave away 90s singles on vinyl that had been used in jukeboxes, and I bought some of my favorite 90s songs. I'm very proud to have these ones actually, because they are kind of rare actually. We have Janet Jackson, Because of Love. We have Billy Joel, River of Dreams. BC-52's Meet the Flintstones from the movie, 94. Here is one real special. This is Roxette, Crash Boom Bang. Says here, for jukeboxes only. Released on yellow vinyl. Pretenders, I Stand By You. We have here 4 p.m. Sukiyaki. More Madonna, You'll See. Even more Madonna, You Must Love Me. Ace of Base, Lucky Love. Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise. You have Michael Jackson here with Scream. Let's do it with Janet Jackson. Human League with Tell Me When from 95. More Madonna. Human Nature from the album with the same name. Madonna again. Bedtime Story. Sorry, Human Nature is from Bedtime Story. The album's name is Bedtime Story. It's the heat. This is the title track, Bedtime Story. This is the only grunge rock melody that I actually like. I like it very much. It is Soundgarden with the Black Hole Sun. Luther Vandross, Mariah Carey, Endless Love. Seal, Pray for Undying. Roxette, Sleeping in My Car, also for jukeboxes only, yellow vinyl. Pretenders, Night in My Veins. Believe, Elton John. And these ones are, I'm very, very proud to have these ones actually. This is really a good thing to have. I'm not a collector of rare things, but when it shows up and I have a chance to take it, I'm very happy actually. So let's go on with the 90s on CD. And why do I like the 90s so much? I like it very much because it's a decade that developed me most when it comes to my musical taste. When the 90s started, I was listening mostly to jazz, classical, 80s music that was on the hit charts, and also soul music. That develops, my interest of soul music developed a lot in the 90s, but I showed a lot of 90s soul in my soul videos, so I'm not going to show any soul here. But through the 90s it came so many new kind of musical styles that I got very interested in. So and I listen to it very much today, and it would be very wrong of me not to actually promote these ones also. First of all, it's an artist that I like very, very much, Jamiroquai, aka Jason K, the man with the huge hat, and he's a great jazz funky style. I really love him very, very much. If you like a lot of 70s Stevie Wonder, I think Jamiroquai is also something for you. This is High Times. It's a singles collection that was released in 2006, containing 17 of his greatest hits. But of course, I have mostly all of his studio albums also. Really love this guy, even though he has a little strange opinions about drugs and other stuff. But he's a great musician. In 93-94, there were a huge trend going all over Europe, and I guess all over the world also. That was Britpop, Indies rock, and from the very beginning I didn't like that music at all. It was heavy promoted in the newspapers, and I thought it as some kind of a newspaper phenomena that belong more on the festivals than in any record collection. But a female friend of mine that I knew in the 90s taught me that this Britpop music was actually so good. It was really, really good. And I learned from 95 and forward to actually love this kind of music, and I've been doing it ever since. Uh, Favorites, of course, Oasis. I thought myself, what Oasis should I bring, because most of them are so ordinary. What's the Story, Morning Glory, great album. Definitely maybe also great album. But I choose this one. This was their final album, Dig Out Your Soul. This is a special version that contains, of course, music, but also it contains a DVD with where they are making the video of the single, The Shock of the Lightning. So it's both bonus DVD and a single, and an album. So really, really great, actually. This one I'm also kind of proud of. This is Oasis Unfinished Sympathy. This is a bootleg with a lot of demo records or alternative takes of several famous Oasis songs, such as Roll It Over and Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, and so on. It's a very, very interesting CD, actually. Also, look like this. Here we come to a record, a Britpop record that is very close to my heart. It's Suede's Coming Up from 96. 96, I was very new to this with Britpop music. I never liked Suede that much during their prime in the beginning of the 90s. I have a hard time listening to Brett Anderson's singing voice. But then I learned that they were actually really good. I mean, Trash came in this at summer 96. My world changed. I thought it was an awesome song, and then came Beautiful Ones, an awesome track, and I listened to it very much that autumn, and made this album on my wish list for Christmas, and I got this album as Christmas present by my parents. So this is an awesome album, in my opinion, maybe the best Britpop album ever. I really love the production. I really love the melodies. It's so relaxing, but at the same time rocky and awesome album. This is a Suede album, also a little special that I found on a second-hand store. This is a live bootleg, Europe Is Our Playground, live in London 1996. It also contains a BBC Radio 1 session recorded in 96. So it's both a live recording and a radio recording, radio live recording. So very interesting. Didn't cost me all that much either. Another Britpop band that I like very much, The Verve. The Bittersweet Symphony, an awesome song. I showed that one in my summer video. Drugs Don't Work is a song that I thought was a little stale from the beginning, but it grown to me very, very much. Urban Hymns is a great album, actually, no doubt about it. So that's with Britpop music, and I can also recommend Cast, Northern Uproar, other British bands that are really, really good. Now another British pop band that I like very much, and I have learned a lot from a Swedish friend of mine, hi Ola, in Helsingborg. Saint Etienne with singer Sarah Cracknell. I can recommend her solo album Lip Slide, an awesome British dance track. This is Saint Etienne with Fox Bass Alpha from 91. Containing Only Love Will Break Your Heart. Sarah Cracknell is not singing on that track, but still it's a great song. No doubt. It's a cover of Neil Young song. Here is an album from 98, and I'm also going to say that now when you see many of my CDs here, you're going to see something that I'm not proud of, but I have not been the most perfect record collector all the time. During the 90s, as I said before, I bought some stickers with my name and put it on. Today I realized it was totally stupid, and one day I'm going to do the boring thing and put some water and soap and get them away, but I haven't. It's a very hard job actually, but still I hope you can live with it. This is an album that I bought at a second-hand record store that we had in '98, but had only been out for a couple of months when I actually found it for just $8. Good Humor, recorded also in a Swedish record studio, the same record studio that also Cardigans were recording Loveful in. During that time, in the late 90s, was another British style that made me very interested in, and that was breakbeat or big beat. You can call it danceable rock tunes with a lot of experimental and samples in. I like it very much because it's so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. It's like a playhouse in studio that anything can happen if you're in the right mood, and at the same time it's so well made. It's so awesome produced, and it's like candy for me. And the king of that, of this style, big beat, is of course Fatboy Slim. This is halfway between The Gutter and the Stars from 99, 2000. Classic, containing Sunset Bird of Prey, great, and Weapon of Choice. Check that video out, Weapon of Choice. It's an awesome video. Christopher Walken dancing around in a hallway. This is a remix album with Fatboy Slim, The World of Big Beat, where he has taken songs and have done a remix on them. You have his version of Groove Amara's I See You Baby. You have a Saint Etienne song remixed with Fatboy Slim. This is a really fun and awesome remix album. I'm not too fond of remixes, as you know, but this is very great. It's another band that I at first didn't like at all when I heard the first songs, but then I realized how cool they were. Apollo 440. This is Getting Higher in Your Own Supply, an album that I like very much. Listen to the song Stop the Rock. It's a great single. Also, you should check out the song Stadium Parking Lot. It's a really party song, definitely. This is filled with both relaxing, atmospheric songs that makes you just cool off, but also really awesome rock dance tracks. It's definitely a great album. But then one of the most famous bands in the same genre is Chemical Brothers, that I like very much, even though it took its time, even there. Today I'm a huge fan of Chemical Brothers, with exception for one song, Galvanize. It's too close to hip-hop for me, but still I like them very much. And this is Dig Your Own Hole, containing the hit single In Single Setting Sun and Blocking Rock Beats. It's a great album, filled with experimental rock music that I gotta tell you, when you listen to Chemical Brothers' earliest albums and you are into songs that are with strong melodies, with strong refrains that has a thread in the melody, then this is not something for you. I'm that kind of guy, but I realize that this actually is so unpredictable and awesome. I like this very much. You should listen to this one and just listen to the art of the production and music when it comes to Chemical Brothers' earliest albums. But the more famous they got, the more hits they got, a little more commercial they got. even though they still never they didn't let go of their experimental style. This is Surrender from '99, containing one of the best dance songs ever released. Hey Boy Hey Girl. Check that video out, it's very very funny, and that song is, I can listen to it over and over again. I listened to it 1,000,000 times since its release in '99, and I never get tired of it because it's so awesomely well made. This Surrender also is a very very great album filled with much drums, heavy drum beats, and a great rock dance track. Let Forever Be, sung by Noel Gallagher from Oasis. Finally, a musical style that I know is dividing many people in two parts. Either you love it or you hate it. And I hated it first when it came, but learned to love it because of the production and the strong melodies. And I'm talking about techno and Eurodance music. Late 90s I listened to this kind of music almost every day, and I still love it very very much, even though it's much harder today to find records of it. First of all, an album that I discovered the first time when I was visiting Stockholm for the first time in '97. I was going with my organization at that time, MF Ungdom, to Stockholm for a trip, and going with a huge bus. And in that bus they played a record with the German group Experience and the album Magic Feels. How awesome this was. It's very very atmospheric production, dance production, and very special relaxing dance music, and the singer Claudia Ule is definitely a forgotten talent. She's an awesome singer that has both disco music and opera in herself. She is singing in an opera style, but still does it not that with the high tones that normal opera singers have, but in a disco style. It's hard to describe, but she's awesome, and this is an awesome album. Never Ending Dream is the hit single. It's one of the best Euro tracks in the '90s. '99, this is in a cross between '99 and 2000. Belgian Sascha Leppesen, more known as Sash. This is the album Trillennium, an awesome dance album. Adelante is one of the best dance tracks ever also. I really like that song. Also a song that I can listen to over and over again. This is one of the really, really great album. Really, really great album. Here another with stickers on. But this is maybe one of the most famous bands in this Eurodisco style in the '90s, Too Unlimited. This is their most famous album, No Limits, containing No Limit and tribal dance and so on. Here is a very special dance. It's not really, it's more techno than Eurodance. This is The Grid. The Grid is Dave Ball from Soft Cell, a British new wave synth pop band. He formed this techno band in the early '90s, and in '94 they had it was the peak of their career when the song Swamp Thing came. It's a mix between country and techno music, and in a marvelous style. I really like that song very very much. And then I bought this album Evolver, and also a song that is totally unpredictable, with a great dance beat and at the same time experimental with some samplings, and you'll never know where this album is going to end when you listen to it. It's like a roller coaster, and for some reason a track here is called Roller Coaster. You can call the entire album a roller coaster. Here is a band that was one of the first bands that I actually bought albums with in the Eurodisco style, Master Boys from Germany. You have here Generation of Love, and you have Different Dreams, and classical Eurodance music, techno style. I like it very very much. Great singer and great production. Uh, but this one may be one of my absolute favorite artists. This is U96, Alex Christensen from Germany. Club Bizarre is an album that I bought in '95 for a very low price, and this is an artist that has really combining atmospheric production with great dance beat and strong melodies that hit you in the stomach, and I really like his music. And the singles normally is typical singles with the strong melodies, but often the other songs is more atmospheric dance music with space, some little spacey production. I can recommend the song Jack. It's a very special techno dance track. This is another interesting one from '92. This is Yusora from Italy with Open Your Mind, the album. Also a more techno style, Italo techno, with much samples and less singing, but it's a very relaxing and great dance album. Here is some of my absolute favorite bands in this style. Swedish band Basic Element and The Ultimate Ride. Also one album that led me into the Eurodance music. It's a production that totally explodes right in your face. And it has awesome speed when it comes to tempo. Listen to Revolution. It's an awesome, maybe one of the best dance tracks ever. So I hope that the CDs doesn't scare you all away, but it's part of me, the '90s, and I hope that you found something here that you want to go search up and listen to. And I hope to be back soon again, and until next time, have a very nice beginning of the weekend and of the rest of the summer, and so long.